There has been a lot of indirect news on the next-gen update for Apex Legends, but none of it has come from official channels. This is a typical marketing tactic to create hype or to string people along. For example, there was news that the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of Apex were age-rated by agencies near the Season 12 launch date. So a lot of people assumed it was going to launch this week, but it didn't. Other sources point to a release date of next week. But I'm here to tell you that I don't think the next-gen update will release until the end of 2022 or in 2023. And if we do receive a next-gen update before that, it will not be a full upgrade, and it won't have improved input latency, for example. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm probably not. I'm going to list some reasons for my conclusion, with the last one being the one I 100% believe is the true primary reason for the lack of a next-gen update. First, it's possible that Respawn is just out of touch with the player base and doesn't know how much a next-gen update is requested. As evidence of this, they focused on the Switch version first to expand the addressable market of Apex, and now they are focusing on the mobile version. Keep in mind that when Apex launched in 2019, Respawn probably had development kits for the Xbox Series X and PS5 already. Alternatively, perhaps Respawn really does want to prioritize the next-gen update, but simply lacks sufficient resources. But given that Respawn has launched full next-gen updates for some of its other titles, like for Star Wars, this reason isn't that supportable. The next-gen update is effectively going to make those consoles as powerful as a high-end PC for Apex, yet they will still have console-level aim assist. Perhaps Respawn is doing extensive testing on how to nerf aim assist on next-gen consoles, and this is the cause of the delay. A lot of you have noticed that the performance of Apex on consoles is getting worse with every season. The skins are getting more complex, there are a lot more characters, the maps are larger, Respawn isn't optimizing Apex for console performance. This makes me think they don't care about performance of Apex on consoles that much. Another conspiracy theory is that Respawn is waiting for interest in Apex to dip, and want to use the release of the next-gen update to spur interest in the game again. This is plausible, but wouldn't cause a 2 to 3 year delay in the release of the next-gen update. Like many of you out there, I got tired of waiting for the update and moved to PC from console. When I did this, I had to buy Apex coins for the Battle Pass since Apex doesn't have cross progression. So by not releasing the next-gen update and by not having cross progression, Apex actually got me to spend more money. I know with 100% certainty that Apex could be cross progression with Xbox and PC right now because Halo Infinite has it. So at a minimum, Respawn could have cross progression between Xbox and PC in every country in the world. Yet they have not done that because they have a monetary incentive to generate money from people switching between consoles and switching between console and PC. A lot of you out there heard the news that console gamers are not going to get an FOV slider in Warzone. Activision's logic for this is that it places gamers on the base Xbox One and base PS4 at a disadvantage in terms of hardware, and it increases the skill gap since a wide FOV is better for high-skilled players. Yet on Xbox I'm forced to cross-play with PC, so this logic doesn't make much sense to me. But this is the same reason that Respawn has not released a next-gen update. It would create a massive hardware advantage for next-gen consoles. This is 100% the reason for the delay in the next-gen update. There is no other reason needed, although there are other supporting factors. Respawn wants to protect the last-gen players from the next-gen players until more of the player base moves to next-gen consoles. I predict that when we do get the next-gen update in 2022 or 2023, it will not fix the terrible input latency on console in order to keep the console generations in more parity with each other. This is exactly what Fortnite has done. The full next-gen update for Fortnite on the Xbox Series X has some of the worst input lag I have ever experienced. This is on purpose. Epic wants to minimize the hardware advantage of next-gen consoles by artificially introducing input lag. They probably just increased the frame render buffer. They can set the input lag this way within a few milliseconds of a target level. Console Apex gamers do not want to be put in the same lobby with PC gamers most of the time because PC has a hardware advantage. If next-gen consoles get a proper update, then the Series X and PS5 will be the equivalent of competing with high-end PCs. Not only that, they will have console-level aim assist instead of PC-level aim assist, unless it is nerfed on next-gen consoles. On the base Xbox One and PS4, the FPS in a gunfight is 30 or lower and the resolution is under 1080p and the input latency is very bad. A proper next-gen update means that the Series X and PS5 will have 120 FPS, 1440p resolution, and good input latency. So that is over 4 times the FPS and almost 2 times the resolution. This is why Respawn decided not to release the next-gen update yet, and when they do release it, they will probably withhold improvements to keep last-gen and next-gen consoles in more parity. If Respawn wanted to increase the FPS of Apex on next-gen consoles, one Respawn employee could make this change in literally one day. Other improvements would be more difficult, but think to yourself, why did Respawn not increase the FPS for next-gen? It was a conscious decision to withhold this improvement to keep console generations in more parity. This is the reason, period. Well, it's pretty sad that the people at Respawn are so short-sighted, but it's not surprising. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.
Cracked an enemy shield. Reloading. I have been downed.
30 seconds to ring close. Just a little further. Seconds. I'm close to the ring. Yeah, I just took out a whole squad. One last squad. Made it this far.
You are the Apex Champions.